Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you're here today because we're going to explore a really interesting coin in American history, the 1961 cent USA coin, better known as the Lincoln Memorial Cent. This coin has a story that goes beyond its copper surface. It represents a turning point in U.S. coin design and carries with it some fascinating varieties that collectors love. So, let's dive into the history, design, value, and how to sell the 1960 penny. First, let's talk about the background. The Lincoln cent was first issued in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. For decades, it carried Victor David Brenner's famous wheat ears reverse. But in 1959, to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the U.S. Mint replaced the wheat design with a brand new reverse. That new design showed the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., and it would remain on the penny for 50 years. Until 2008, the 1960 penny was only the second year of this brand new design, making it an important early piece of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series. Let's look at the design in detail. On the obverse, or front, we see a right-facing bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner back in 1909. The inscriptions include, "In God We Trust," at the top, "Liberty" to the left, and the date, 1960, to the right. Just below the date is the mint mark D for Denver, P for Philadelphia, although no mint mark appears for Philadelphia issues, and S for San Francisco. The reverse side features the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gass. This design was chosen to symbolize Lincoln's legacy, as preserved in the Great National Monument. If you look closely at the memorial on the coin, you can actually see a tiny representation of the statue of Lincoln inside, which is an amazing detail for such a small coin. Around the edge are the words United States of America and the motto E Pluribus Unum. At the bottom is the denomination, 1 cent. As for composition, the 1960 cent was made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, weighing 3.11 grams with a diameter of 19 millimeters. These coins have a plain edge, just like modern pennies. Now, here's where the 1960 penny gets especially exciting. There are two major varieties, known as the 1960 small date and the 1960 large date. These varieties are all about the size of the numerals in the date. In the large date variety, the 6 and 0 in 1960 appear taller and bolder, while in the small date variety, they look more compact and delicate. Collectors quickly noticed these differences, and the small date in particular became a sought-after variety. To make things even more interesting, both Philadelphia and Denver mints produced small date and large date pennies in 1960. That means there are actually 4 different types of 1960 cents: the Philadelphia small date, the Philadelphia large date, the Denver small date, and the Denver large date. For collectors, this makes the 1960 penny an especially fun year to complete. Now, let's talk value. In circulated condition, most 1960 pennies are only worth about 1 to 5 cents. Since they were produced in huge numbers, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 586 million coins, while Denver produced over 1.5 billion, and San Francisco minted about 2.6 million proof coins. Because of these high mintages, common circulated examples are easy to find. However, uncirculated and proof coins, as well as the small date varieties, can be worth more. A typical uncirculated 1960 large date cent might sell for $1 to $3, while small date examples can range from $3 to $15 depending on condition. High-grade certified coins, especially with full red color, can reach values of $50 or more. Proof coins, particularly those with cameo contrast, can also sell for a premium. Errors and varieties add another layer of value. For example, doubled die errors and repunched mint marks from 1960 are very collectible, and they can bring in prices from $25 all the way up to hundreds of dollars depending on rarity and grade. This is why it's always worth checking your 1960 pennies carefully with a magnifying glass. So, how do you sell a 1960 penny if you have one? First, identify which variety you have, small date or large date. Check for any mint errors. If your coin is circulated in common, it may be best to sell it in bulk with other wheat or memorial cents. Since collectors often buy rolls to search through, for uncirculated or error coins, selling individually can be more profitable. Local coin shops are an option if you want a quick sale, but online marketplaces like eBay or numismatic forums usually reach more buyers. If you have a proof coin or a high-grade small date variety, you might want to consider having it graded by PCGS or NGC. Graded coins almost always sell for higher amounts because collectors trust the certification. When listing your coin for sale online, take clear photos of both sides, and for 1960 pennies especially, make sure to capture the date in close-up so buyers can confirm whether it's a small date or large date variety. Transparency and accuracy in your descriptions will help you get the best price. In conclusion, the 1961 cent USA coin may look like just another penny, but it's full of history and collecting interest. From the change to the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959 to the famous small date and large date varieties, this coin represents an important chapter in U.S. numismatics. While most examples are common, uncirculated coins, proofs, and errors can carry surprising value. Whether you keep yours in a collection or decide to sell it, the 1960 penny is a piece of history worth appreciating. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1960 Lincoln Memorial cent, its history, design, varieties, value, and how to sell it. If you learned something new, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with fellow collectors, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more coin stories and tips. Until next time, happy collecting, and I'll see you again soon.